Hey basketball coaches, players, and fans. Today in this video, I am going to be breaking down Nikola Jokic's shooting form. Now, if you are a taller player, this is definitely a video that may help you be able to shoot the basketball better. Let's get down and let's check out Nikola Jokic. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to break down is not his shot, but his layup and footwork. So, before the game, what do we see here? He is practicing a right-handed floater-style shot going off his right foot. Now, his next shot, right-handed, but going off the right foot again. Now, going off his left foot this time. Why is this important? Why is this important to players? The reason why this is important for players is because now you can go in for a layup with your right hand and be able to then go off of your right foot or your left foot, and it doesn't matter. Why is this important? Because now you can catch your defender off guard by only taking one step for a layup instead of two, which allows you to get off a layup faster and uncontested sometimes depending on the defender. Okay, so now we are looking at his shooting form. And with his shooting form, what do we see? Okay, so he's right-handed. We all knew that. We look at his feet first. His right foot is in front of his left. Now, why is this important? This is important because this is going to allow you to be able to shoot the basketball further, but also straighter. It allows you to keep your body in line. What I mean by that is your knee is pointing forward like his is, and his shoulder is in line with his elbow to make a straight line towards the basket. This is very important. Now, when he goes up for his shot, unlike most players, he actually has pretty well a straight shooting form when it comes to his body. Some players will start a little bit more hunched over for their shot. It can give them more power, but he doesn't necessarily do that. He goes straight up. His shoulders really don't move from that plane. And then going up from there, he goes up into his shot. Now, his shot is a little bit different than most players. So what I mean by this is most players, they're going to be having the ball right here, arm out like this or like this. With Nikola Jokic, he has his arm right up. Now he has the ball way behind his head, and the ball's up here. Now, you're probably wondering, how does this not get blocked in game? If I was a help defender, I would try my best to get behind him to try and swat that ball away from behind. The issue with that is now you could cause a foul, and NBA players try not to get fouled out. That's very important to them. But also, he doesn't leave it in that spot very long. So basically, it only goes there for a millisecond, and then he goes to release that ball. Now, at this point in time, this is another reason why it's so very hard to have his shot blocked. He starts with the ball above his head, which is why a lot of players have issues trying to block his shot when it comes to his mid-range jumpers. His elbow is way out in front, so as soon as you make contact with that elbow, it's going to be a foul. And especially him being an all-star, that just as soon as you get close to him, they can call you for a foul. Next, that creates a lot of space for him. Next, when he shoots, look at his release point. It looks to be off of his middle finger, which is what you are looking for as a player, because your middle finger is the biggest finger on your hand, and when it comes to that, if it goes off your ring finger or your other index, the pointer finger, it's going to have a weird side spin to the ball and push it left or right. Now, when he does release that ball, what we have is a very high release, and what I mean by that is he's not releasing the ball with his arms out like this. This is another reason why his shot is so hard to block, especially for shorter centers, is because most players will shoot and have a 45-degree angle on their arm, which now you only have to jump this high to block that shot instead of this high. That adds an extra, I would say, 1.5 feet to needing to block his shot. Now, from there, when he releases all the way up, his shoulder, even though this is not straight like this, It doesn't matter. His elbow is pointing towards that rim, and it makes a straight line between his shoulder and elbow, and it points straight towards the rim. Whether it be out like this or out like this, it doesn't matter. As long as that line is straight between his shoulder and elbow, it's going to allow for a straight shot. And then when he releases super high, that puts a lot of arc on that ball, which allows it to drop in. The more arc you have on that ball, the bigger that rim is going to look to that ball. Now, when he gets closer to the cameraman, what we see here, again, now he's doing his floaters again, but same idea with his floaters to his shot. What we see here is his elbow does start a bit out, but then he brings it in, and it allows, when he goes to try and release that ball, as we can see here, that shoulder and that elbow are in line. That's your aim. As a shooter, between there and there is your aim. That's what you're looking for to be able to have a straight shot. Everything else just helps with allowing you to have a straight shot. And what I mean by that is both shoulders should be fairly similar distances to the rim. And then your hips need to be square towards the rim. Your knees need to be square towards the rim. And, as we can see here, his shot and floater both do the exact same thing. So that's a breakdown of Nikola Jokic's shooting form. If you're a taller player, this might be a good form or a couple of good points to take from to be able to help your shot. Now, I don't want to have every player go and shoot the ball from behind their head, because that can get blocked extremely easily, especially at the youth level. However, if you are looking to have an unblockable shot, or at least a shot that's really hard to block, by having that same high release as Nikola Jokic, you're going to have a very hard shot to block. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.